Are you trying to get yourself into a real confident state and you're finding it really, really hard? You're like, I'm trying to think confident, I'm trying to get there, but you're having a challenge. Well, today I'm going to talk about changing more quickly into a confident state into situations when you really need it. And if you stay until the very end, I have a bonus point for you then as well. Now, if you want to keep up to date with all things men's mental health, men's growth in particular, maybe you're a man or you know a man who could benefit with this, well, check out my latest podcast linked in the show notes below. So many times I would just try and think more confidently. I'd be like, right, I've got to think confidently, right? Okay, I'm trying to think it. And then I just couldn't because I had all these like negative voices in my head. Maybe something came in from life as an opportunity to grow. And I was like, all right, I just don't feel good. I feel horrendous. I don't feel good about myself. I'm pathetic. I'm a loser. And I was just trying to think positively and confident. And I couldn't, right? And it was really hard to override that. And if you're not training your mind regularly, it is going to be hard, right? It's not just when things go bad, I try and think confident. It's like every single day, like keeping fit and healthy. I genuinely believe we've got to train our minds on the mental side as well, because things are going to get tough, right? I'm not saying life's always going to be tough, but there are going to be challenges that are going to come in, right? And this is something I found really, really beneficial for me. And I learned in the Tony Robbins world in particular. And it's this state, story, strategy. Most of us try and get confident by thinking like, right, what's the strategy? What can I do? Right? Rather than changing our physiology, our state of being first. Because when you move into a confident state, you do something, then the story of what you're thinking in your head will change, and therefore you're able to act more confident. Rather than going the other way around, people think, right, okay, I'm going to try and do something, even though I'm not feeling good. And then therefore that will change the narrative in my head, and therefore I'll feel more confident. No, it's the other way around. So I'm going to go into some points for how you can do this. But yeah, like how does it help? When you're like, right, I'm trying to think my way into confident, but I just can't feel it. Or if you're anything like me, it gets frustrating. It's like, I want to feel confident, but I can't because life's against me or people against me, and all these kind of like negative thoughts come in, right? And it gets challenging. So let's go through some simple things you can do. Number one, state. We start with state, like we said. Do something each morning that gets you in a good state. For me, it's breath work. Breath work really helps me resource myself, feel calmer. Right? People do cold showers. Again, like not saying you should or shouldn't do that. Like again, but if you've got like medical issues, obviously consult a doctor or something like that on those kind of things. Exercise, well, the same applies to exercise, right? But yeah, like going for a run, going for a walk, maybe in the morning, will help you. But you can also do it in the moment. You're feeling down, put a smile on your face, jump up and down, even if you don't feel like it, because then you will feel like it when you start doing it, right? I know I've been in a real bad mood, gone to the gym, worked out, felt better, right? Didn't feel like going to the gym, but I did it. So it's about changing your state. Stand upright, put a smile on your face, put your hands on your hip like Wonder Woman or Superman, and that's going to change how you feel, right? The second thing, the story. Listen to the words that are going on in your head. Now, this is more likely to change as a benefit and benefit you if you started with your state, right? So think of an empowering story, the words and pictures in your head. And the third thing, take a simple action, something very simple that you can do to move yourself forward. If it's like posting on social media, having a conversation with someone, and you're more likely to do that if you put yourself in a good state and you look at the words in your head, you change them to empowering first. Right. But at the end of the day, you've obviously got to take the action at the end of it. There's no point just hyping yourself up if you're not going to do anything. But by hyping yourself up, you're more likely to act from a place of confidence. And then praise yourself no matter what. Pat yourself on the back and celebrate, because that's going to encourage you to do more of it and create more feel-good chemicals so that you do more of that behavior in future. Okay, final point. Just before I get onto that though, once again, that if you want a podcast particularly focused on men's mental health, then check out my new podcast linked in the show notes below. Okay, now let's think about how you can make this into a simple routine. Every morning, what I like to do is I create my sort of like state story strategy. So I will do some breath work. I list this, right? That's my state. And then my story is I'll read some stuff in the back of my journal, like reminders of key messages and important like quotes, things that really resonated with me, or maybe hard challenges I've overcome. So actually I'm telling myself a story that I can overcome anything pretty much, right? And then I will just do one small thing in the morning to implement towards where I want to go. Right, I don't make it overcomplicated, because the brain, when it gets complexity, it's less likely to do it, right? So make it into a routine, write it down for you. That would be my guidance on changing into a confident state. But again, it's all about starting with that confident state by changing your state. Do some movement, exercise, breathing, something that's going to change you, and therefore that's going to make you more likely to follow through. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. You'll improve the other people in your life by being the best you. And remember, you are in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.